Live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television, here we present to you tonight's news bulletin. But first, the headlines. The Sultanate and Korea discuss aspects of cooperation in defense affairs and ways to enhance them. The COVID-19 Supreme Committee stresses on the requirement of getting vaccinated to enter government units and private sector establishments and for the entry to the Sultanate for all arriving passengers from world countries. And the Sultan Qaboos University announces the 9 winning projects in the research program to empower the disabled. Thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sends a cabal of condolences to His Excellency President Qasim Jomart Tokayev of Kazakhstan on the victims of the ammunition depot explosion in the city of Jambil. His Majesty the Sultan sends a cabal of greetings to His Excellency President Dr. Nguyen Xuan Phu of Vietnam on his country's National Day. His Highness Sayyid Shihab bin Tariq Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for Defense Affairs, received His Excellency Soo Wook, Minister of National Defense of Korea, and his accompanying delegation. During the meeting, they discussed aspects of cooperation between the Ministries of Defense in the Sultanate and South Korea. They also exchanged points of views on a number of matters of common concern that serve the people of both countries. His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Nasser Al-Zaabi, Secretary General of the Ministry of Defense, received General Enzo Verciarelli, Chief of Italian Defense General Staff. During the meeting, they exchanged cordial talks and reviewed bilateral relations between both countries in addition to a number of matters of common concern. The decision of the COVID-19 Supreme Committee to make vaccination a requirement for entering the government units and private sector establishments, including commercial complexes, restaurants, as well as attending cultural, sports and other activities, began today. During the 26th conference of the committee, it was announced that 100% of employees will return to work in public sector if they took the vaccine. It called on the necessity to adhere to the precautionary measures approved by the bodies concerned, namely wearing face masks and keeping social distance. The Ministry of Health reported 4 deaths and 93 new COVID-19 cases and 134 recoveries. The ministry also reported that the total number of COVID-19 cases registered in the Sultanate reached 302,393, while the total number of deaths was 4,068. The total recovered cases reached 292,038. The ministry indicated that the total number of inpatients reached 107, of which 52 are in intensive care units. The Ministry of Labor and Oman Society for Petroleum Services signed a training associated with employment agreement. More details in the following report. In accordance with the needs of the labor market and in order to ensure the continuity of the national workforce at various working positions after achieving their professional and practical requirements, the Ministry of Labor signed a training agreement with the Omani Association for Oil Services (OPAL) in order to train, qualify and employ the national workforce job seekers with the participation of various sectors. The association shall train, qualify and employ job seekers in the energy and mineral sectors after they are selected in accordance with the conditions required.
At the outset, I would like really to thank Ministry of Labor for signing this agreement with OPAL. I think this agreement is, happening because, the Ministry of Labor is trying to endeavor to train, qualify Omanis in getting jobs at different sectors. This agreement mainly focusing on the oil and gas sector and energy and minerals as well.
Job seekers will be prepared and encouraged to enroll in the training programs to gain skills and experience required to fill the available positions.
We hope, with these agreements, we will be able to find suitable jobs for Omanis. We are working closely with the Ministry of Labor in developing national occupational standards and also extracting training programs catered for oil and gas industry.
With this agreement, the Ministry of Labor and the OPAL Association will implement and prepare strategies and training plans and analyze the proposed professions and training accordingly. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, in front of the Ministry of Labor. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman Television, and yet to come in our news bulletin. The 5th Summer Scouting Camp for Girl Scouts continues in the Governorate of Dhofar. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Humanities Research Center in Sultan Qaboos University announced the 9 winning research projects in the research program to empower the disabled, which is financed by Oman LNG Development Foundation. The program aims at achieving a sustainable development for community members with disability challenges by securing a brighter future for them and ensuring their effective engagement in research and innovation. The winning projects met the research requirements supported by the program, such as software and computer applications, training methods, and provision of equipment and devices that empower persons with disabilities. Oman Center for Commerce Arbitration launched its commercial identity, a major step towards establishing a footing for the center and reinforcing its status among investors, entrepreneurs, and other stakeholders in the private and public sectors. The establishments of the center will generate more confidence in the facilities available for local and international companies in settling commercial disputes and will ease the burden on the judicial system in commercial litigations. The center's headquarters is expected to be open soon during the 51st National Day celebrations. The construction works for wastewater network in the Wilayat of Bushehr has concluded with overall cost of 7.5 million Omani Riyals. The project, which was mobilized in 2018, has managed connected 250 residential and commercial units in Bushehr to the main wastewater network. The wastewater pipelines extends to 24 kilometers long. Oman Wastewater Services Company will continue its works in the Wilayat of Bushehr and will announce new tenders for the coming projects. Now, the shrimp season is back for 3 months, with Wilaya of Mhout being the largest producer of shrimp. Last year, the Sultanate of Oman produced over 714 tons and generated over 2.16 million Omani Riyals, which was lower by 149 tons compared to year 2019. Now to the Governorate of Dhofar. Girl Scouts at the 5th Summer Scouting Camp at Jabal Ashur Plains in the Governorate continue enjoying their activities in the midst of breathtaking sceneries. More details coming up in this report. The activities of the 5th Summer Scouting Camp for Girl Scouts, currently being held at the site of the permanent scouting camp at Jabal Ashur Plain in the Governorate of Dhofar, continues its activities. The camp, organized by the Directorate General of Scout and Guides, is being participated by 24 groups of Girl Scouts from different governorates of the Sultanate and will continue up to 2nd of September, has witnessed many different activities including the challenges and adventure program and practical applications of traditions and guides.
In this camp, which focuses on environment, we have learned a lot of the nature here. Again, we have looked at different plants and number of trees in this area, together with many other activities that we have benefited from.
A session to learn about the nature of the environment in the Governorate of Dhofar, in addition to the research and study trip that aims to bring more knowledge on the environment as well as preservation of trees. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and to end this news bulletin, here are the main points once again. Sultanate and Korea discuss aspects of cooperation in defense affairs and ways to enhance them. The COVID-19 Supreme Committee stresses on the requirement of getting vaccinated to enter government units and private sector establishments and for the entry to the Sultanate for all arriving passengers from worldwide countries. And the Sultan Qaboos University announces the 9 winning projects in the research program to empower the disabled. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin, brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. Thank you for joining us, and stay safe and healthy. Good night.